keep telling us that we should care what happens to New York City, and the failed theater kids are taking over the city, and I say let the whole thing turn into a Hamilton performance for all I care. Let the failed rapper run that shit into the ground.
The number one spice, it's in the morning, I roll like a...
If you want a failed rapper who's never had to work a real job to run the city of commerce, by all means, take it away. I just wish I had enough money to buy the effing dip in the New York real estate market.
The number one spice, it's in the morning, I roll like a...
Here goes the neighborhood.
Oh, I'm not throwing away my shot. I'm looking for a nice cheap lot. Now's my chance to get in on the real estate game. Just like Trump, maybe it'll catapult me to fame. No, I'm not giving away my shot. I hope Zoran gets that homeless guy a cot. Get him off my fucking lot. Yeah, I'm not throwing away my shot.
Stop it, please, I beg you!
Woo! See, I could have been mayor of New York or like a representative in Queens or whatever.
That's not entirely accurate.
Tax the rich.
The New York City mayoral election is on November 4th, and it looks like Zoran Mamdani is going to win, barring anything major. I can see how Mamdani would be compelling. I get it. Especially like 20-year-old Bridget. He's young and energetic and pandering to every single demographic there is, making promises he can't keep, and it's not grounded in reality. So basically, he's a perfect representation of the Democratic Party right now.
If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. Live free or die. And in conclusion, read my lips.
He can summon whatever suffering, resentment, and grievances that people have, and dumbasses who don't know how things work will vote for him, which is also how we got Trump.
It's well put. It's true.
Although the right wing is more grounded in reality, they were just super mad they couldn't say retard anymore.
Everybody knows you never go full retard.
It's funny this story has taken on a national significance. Obviously, New York City is a large city still in America, but everyone in New York City has main character syndrome, like they're living in their favorite sitcom.
You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us!
They're all out there wearing t-shirts that are like hot chicks for Zoran. And I mean, imagine the kind of delusional confidence that you would need to believe that you're a hot chick. It's the kind of delusional confidence it takes to make it in New York City. I understand why villains are always attacking New York in movies. They kind of deserve it, honestly. They're the most annoying center of attention people on the planet, and I sincerely hope Zoran turns that place into Escape from New York. He wants to close Rikers, and he's going to, and turn New York City into an open-air prison. Someone on X was like, Norm Macdonald's 9/11 joke is about to be elected mayor of New York City.
Well, I can't say my friend's name, but he said his biggest fear is that ISIS or some terrorist group like that would get a hold of a dirty bomb and explode it over a major city within the United States and kill tens of millions of people. Because then the blowback against innocent Muslims would be absolutely terrible.
Zoran talked about how after 9/11, his aunt supposedly quit riding the subways because she did not feel safe in her hijab. And then lots of people were like, oh yeah, my aunt never rode the subway again either after 9/11 because she died after 2 Muslims crashed into the towers. Zoran made this statement. It was just the internet making tons of memes of like, but we must think about hurting Zoran's aunt's feelings. 9/11, we'll post some of them. They're delightfully inappropriate, as memes should be. And then the internet sleuths found out that because it was a random, because journalists can't be bothered to do their job at all. And it turned out his aunt didn't live in New York City after 9/11 and didn't wear a hijab and allegedly lived in Tanzania.
Close enough.
Mamdani's aunt was so afraid to wear a hijab after 9/11 that she was too afraid to wear one before 9/11. And I'm looking forward to the entire news cycle where now they're the left wing who's going to have to run cover for this weird, nonsensical lie is just going to have to say that auntie is a term used loosely for every strong woman figure in communities of color and imply that I'm just a racist bigot for not knowing that he was referring to some loosely related cousin or aunt and part of the family, which is now what he's actually come out and saying. He's coming out and clarifying and saying that it was a distant cousin, not his aunt, technically. And for the record, no wave of anti-Muslim hate crimes followed 9/11, not in New York or anywhere else. Although looking back, maybe we should have fired a few warning shots.
Well, let's be nice. Yeah. Let's be nice. We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong.
It is amazing. Do you think it's just because the internet didn't exist?
Yeah, I think so. I
mean, the internet existed, but like not
the way
social
it did.
media.
I think it was just a different time. I do think if the internet existed during that, who knows what we would have seen.
Yes, I'm not advocating for violence, but perhaps we could have scared them a little. More than we did. Actually, I think AOC's Tax the Rich Met Gala dress is really the one that's about to win the mayoral race. They were all at Mamdani's rally. He filled a stadium, by the way, in Queens, and all these morons were screaming, "Tax the rich! Tax the rich!" Tax the rich! Tax the rich! It's really funny hearing that in New York City, because if you know anything about New York City, you will walk out the door and spend $50 on a bagel and a coffee and just like a subway ride. I feel like anyone who lives there has to be doing way better than I'm doing, even working class. But also, do people not know anything about the French Revolution? I feel like whenever you start going after taxing the rich, and the revolution is rightfully going after these people who, in some ways, are not addressing the concerns of the poors, and the poors get a little feisty, and then they're not being heard, and then they start to riot. But inevitably, they're all going to turn on each other. This is always where this leads.
Let's overthrow the palace and cut all their heads off, said Robespierre, cutting everybody's head off until someone eventually got mad and cut his head off.
It's not going to just stop with the rich. Then it's going to stop with the guy who can afford a bagel with salmon and also a coffee and a ride on the subway. And that was not about the Jews.
I was wondering.
The minute I saw that,
I was like, oh, God. Shit. Oh, was that intentional?
I see good things about Hitler also.
Because that's what immediately popped into my head. Oh, the Jews can afford salmon on their bagel.
Well, weirdly, it will be about the Jews, actually. They will be blaming the Jews, especially if it's Zoran's cohort. All right, I think this is all the fault of AI.
I did not murder him!
At the root of this, we are not talking about the great replacement theory enough. And by the great replacement theory, I'm talking about those clankers that are coming for our jobs.
Roger, 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 roger.
You have all these people being replaced by AI, the elite class that did everything right. They went to the schools, they worked hard, they got their, they got their parents to pay for their apartment so they could take that temp job over the summer, and they can't get a job that's elite and doesn't pay very well, and they also can't get a good paying job that is somewhat prestigious, and they're big mad. And they're big mad that their gender studies degree is worthless, and they can no longer work at a glossy website canceling people for sport.
We've all been raised on television to believe that one day we'd all be millionaires and movie gods and rock stars, but we won't. We're slowly learning that fact. And we're very, very pissed off.
It's like this weird elite resentment that I think fuels this pro-Mamdani rise. It's these young people who feel left out. And honestly, I don't blame them. We've talked a lot about how they do have some points, okay? I will say it again. Just let people get houses, and all of this will be fixed. Fix the housing market. And for socialism is always like a good solution when people are feeling poor, even though look at Venezuela and go ask them how that worked out for them. It's similar calculus to people voting for Trump in 2016, particularly people who wanted to vote for Bernie and people who maybe voted for Obama and then they voted for Trump and they're all over the place. Or Bernie bros who voted for Trump now in 2024. It's populism. It's coming from everywhere. It's just left wing right now, and it's coming from the elite class instead of MAGA. I truly do hope Mamdani wins, though. New Yorkers are getting the person they deserve.
Police, get what you fucking deserve!
AOC did speak at the rally in support of Mamdani, and she was really auditioning for the role of Martin Luther King meets Obama.
This city was built by the Irish escaping famine, Italians fleeing fascism, Jews escaping Holocaust, Black Americans fleeing slavery and Jim Crow, Latinos seeking a better life.
We're not the outlandish ones in New York City. They want us to think we're crazy. We're the sane ones.
We are not the crazy ones, New York City. We are not the outlandish ones, New York City. They want us to think we are crazy, we are sane. They want us to think we are crazy, we are sane.
But we must remember at a time such as this, we're not the crazy ones. My daughter is always asking me why I'm yelling upstairs constantly. I'm like, I'm not crazy. Anytime someone's yelling, we're not crazy, I'm like, you're definitely crazy. It's the hallmark of crazy to be yelling, I'm not crazy. She's yelling, I'm not crazy. She may as well have been carving that shit into a car. AOC, we've said it before, definitely has slash some guy's tire energy. AOC is trying to get into a rhythm and be rousing, and it ends up being kind of cringe, although people get into it. They're like, this is presidential. And this is not. This is just the effect of fucking Hamilton on an entire generation.
I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot.
Everybody wanted to go to that musical when it was playing in New York City because you couldn't get in and it was like the big deal. Everybody wants to be Lin-Manuel Miranda. Everybody wants to have their shot. It just furthers the point that the base of the Democratic Party is people who peaked in theater class. Or maybe they never made it in theater class and they're still trying to make it. For all the talk about all of the right-wingers who, when you understand that right-wingers are just failed Hollywood wannabes, you understand everything. There's a lot of failed Broadway stars energy on the left wing too, okay? But here's what I do know from doing this show for 6 years. People don't like listening to women.
This city was built by the...
Shut up, bitch!
They certainly don't like listening to women preach. People don't want to hear women preach. Men don't want to. Women don't want to either. Look, I'm going after AOC for her. It's the day-to-day. When women get riled up and give their crowd-pleasing speech, it never works. It might explain why Dumpster Fire isn't more popular.
Well, shit.
Actually, it definitely explains it. It's the cringe that everybody silently gives when a woman stands on stage to do stand-up comedy.
Just do women's comedy stuff, talk about how fat you are and how you want to have sex with guys and then say, my vagina a lot.
Female leadership is calmly destroying people. Think Margaret Thatcher, Condoleezza Rice. People liked Michelle Obama too, but that's probably just because of her big dick energy.